Welcome, everybody, to another edition of a post-game show from Knicks Nation. I'm Anthony. That is Chris, my co-host. The New York Knicks lost to the Milwaukee Bucks 111 to 107. Jalen Brunson, another career high with 44 points. Chris, what's going on, man? Another tough loss for the New York Knicks.
Yep, unfortunately, another tough loss. Kind of conflicted, On one hand, I'm upset that they lost a game that again looked like they had it well in control. But on the other side, I'm kind of happy that we're competing against a team as good as the Milwaukee Bucks. So kind of
I don't know
50-50.
about so you're going to play that guy tonight, huh?
That's where I'm at right now.
I don't know, man, because once again, the New York Knicks go up by as much as, 14, 16 points in this game. They just cannot defend a three-point shot. Seems like the Milwaukee Bucks found a little hole in their defense towards the end of the third quarter. They kept driving, kicking it out to open defenders. And the Milwaukee Bucks surrounded Giannis with a bunch of three-point shooters. Obviously, Cunningham tonight, 3 of 7. Giannis wasn't even Giannis tonight. 22 points for Giannis. Grayson Allen. You had Cunningham. Then you had Ingles off the bench, hit 5 threes for the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, late in that third quarter, when it seemed like they hit about 5 or 6 threes in a row. Knicks were fighting, though. Jalen Brunson was a dog tonight. Another career high for Jalen Brunson, 44 points tonight. And that was against Drew Holiday for most of the game. Drew Holiday is an elite defender, and Jalen Brunson said, hey, I'm going to drop 44 on you, 44, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Hit all 10 of his free throws, Jalen Brunson. I mean, no complaints out of him. He should be an all-star. But yeah, another tough loss for the New York Knicks. And, Chris, this is a loss at home that the New York Knicks have squandered here late in games. And I don't know what it is, man. They have to figure something out because, these home losses will come back to bite you later on in the season in terms of, obviously you want to be a playoff team. So in terms of standings or whatnot, but they keep losing these games at home, Chris, and it's not good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good at all. That's one of the keys to the season that we've mentioned in the past. I mean, you gotta take care of your home court. And it's a little maddening, especially when they get up to these 13, 15-point leads. Leads where, you should be feeling pretty good, going into the fourth that you're going to close out a game. But I don't know what it is. It just seems that teams seem to get hot against us, especially from the 3-point. And either it's desperation on their end or what, I don't know what, but they just they just keep making all these crazy shots against us. I mean, I know for the most part, it looks like Milwaukee found some type of scheme that worked on the offensive side, and they were just getting open 3-pointers. But you know, in a night where Giannis only had 22, which is crazy to say, that's a bad game for Giannis. The Knicks, they should have won this game, and Jalen Brunson, I mean, another spectacular game from him. He tried everything in his power to keep the Knicks in this one, and it just wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough indeed. And yeah, crying emoji in the chat. Yep, I agree, man. Crying emoji in the chat. We're here crying because the New York Knicks just can't figure out how to close these games. And, it hurts. It really does. Milwaukee Bucks tonight, 19 of 49 from the three-point line, 38%, 19 threes. That's a lot of three-pointers made. The Knicks only had 11 three-pointers made. They hit 20 of 22 free throws, Chris, but, Julius Randle did miss one there late in the game. But, yeah, the same things keep happening for this Knicks team. The missed free throws late in games. The defense, they don't know how to rebound late in these games. They turn into a pumpkin. Like they honestly don't know how to rebound the basketball. And the execution, I mean, thank God for Jalen Brunson. I mean, his offense was, keeping us in that game. But yeah, these late game situations, the rebounding, the free throws, it's frustrating. It really is. It's frustrating,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, it is. It's kind of weird considering the Knicks are a better rebounding team. I don't know what it is late in games where it just seems like the ball never bounces our way. It's the weirdest thing. And if we do get a hand on it, it's a tap going out of bounds. It's slipping through our fingers, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just I mean, I don't want to say it's just bad luck, but the Knicks just got to figure out a way to close out these games, especially at home.
Julius had a few of those rebounds. He got the rebound. He tapped it. He was trying to tap it to a teammate, but it wound up going out of bounds. So, yeah, defending the three also is a problem with them. And the Bucks took advantage of the Knicks' lack of defense there and late in the third quarter. Some positives tonight though. Chris Obi Toppin returned from injury, played in limited minutes, but he took Isaiah Hardenstein. I wish he took Isaiah Hardenstein's minutes, but he took Jericho Sims minutes. Yeah, so he took Sims minutes. Didn't really play that much, but it's good to see Obi Toppin back, and he looked like a kid in the playground out there. Just happy to be out there playing basketball again. It's good to see Obi out there healthy, and yeah. So we were going back and forth whether he was going to take iHeart's minutes or Sims' minutes, and it wound up being Sims.
Yeah, it's very nice to see Obi out there. Number one, we need this team to be healthy. But yeah, Obi, got out there, played only 8 minutes and hit a three. So would have loved to see him in the game a little bit longer, but granted, I know he's coming back from injury and they probably want to take it easy with him. So
Yeah.
good to see him out there. RJ, we need you back now. His turn.
Yeah. We got to talk about Isaiah Hardenstein.
Yeah.
Big Taz brought it up in the chat. Isaiah Hardenstein is, he's been struggling here to say the least lately, and it's been a struggle to, for him to gain any type of confidence and sustain, momentum. But it's been a struggle. A lot of fans, including myself, wanted Sims to be the guy when Obi came back to, overtake Hardenstein. But Hardenstein is one of Tom Thibodeau's guys, is Chris. And if we're one of Tom Thibodeau's guys, you're going to play. It's that simple. Tom Thibodeau wanted Hardenstein. He's playing. He's not playing well. And, I don't know what the Knicks do in terms of, do you see them benching iHeart? I want to. I want them to bench iHeart. You got to. You got to bench him.
It's weird. It's a weird case with him. He was playing well initially, at the start of the season, but I feel like ever since he made it known publicly that his Achilles was hurting and he wasn't 100%, that's like when it went downhill for him. He was still getting boards and stuff like that, up there with Mitch when it came to leaders in that area, but he's giving us almost nothing,
Nothing.
Defensively outside of boarding. And offensively, he's not stretching the floor like we thought he would, coming in. I personally would say bench him. I've said it before. I think he's a candidate to get traded, but he is a Tibbs guy. Tibbs loves to trot him out there no matter what. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I doubt that the front office is going to get rid of him if Tibbs is in love with this guy.
Yeah, Big Task in the chat. Made a nice comment. He's like a pinball out there. He gets bounced around easily on defense. He just said, why, though? You can push iHeart around with your pinky finger. And, yeah, on defense, he's really struggling. And on offense, he's not giving you what the New York Knicks thought he was going to give you. Thought he was going to give you a three-point shot. He's not even doing that. He's not giving you the three-point shot. If he was giving you the three-point shot more consistently, I get it. 0-6 tonight, 10 minutes, 4 rebounds. Nothing. A nothing burger from Isaiah Hardenstein, as I like to say. Just absolutely nothing from him. Jericho Sims, I want to see him overtake iHeart. Let's get that going because, I want to see it.
Sims, you know what you're going to get from Sims. You're going to get all the boarding that you're getting from iHeart, and then you're going to get the second chance effort here and there. He just plays with so much hustle. He's a lob threat. And right now, Isaiah Hardenstein is none of that. iHeart came in here with the reputation of being a rim protector, and you barely see this guy get a block, let alone a solid contest. So
what's a block to iHeart? Jesus,
it's just it's weird, man. Isn't it weird how we get these players? They have a good season, they come to the Knicks, and then they just disappear.
The funny thing is, iHeart was playing well early on in the season, and then he just turned into a damn pumpkin.
Yep.
Like these players, they play well, then they turn into a pumpkin. They play well, and then they turn into a pumpkin. Is there a curse in Madison Square Garden? I don't know. Maybe there is.
I don't know. I've heard rumblings when it comes to iHeart that Knicks, the coaching staff is just not using him properly. Because we did have that one game where they were calling him,
Come on,
Jokic light,
let's. Yeah, I mean, that
and
was
they
a
were
game versus
saying,
the Golden State Warriors where he was like
yeah,
making half court passes, doing it all, but you don't get that on a consistent level. That's the I heart we want to see.
yeah,
Making those passes, rebounding, blocking shots, but we're not getting that. So, they got to figure something out. And do they figure something out? I don't know. He's one of Thibs' guys, so I don't see them moving on unless they come up with a trade during the trading deadline. Trading deadline is in about 4 weeks. So, now that you have Obi back, you expect him to get 15 to 20 minutes maybe. And, I want to see Sims get those IR minutes. Evan Fournier played tonight. Obviously, we're still waiting on RJ Barrett to return for the New York Knicks. Fournier doesn't give you anything. McBride on the offensive end doesn't give you anything. Randall tonight started off really, really slow. And, 9 to 29 from the field, 1 to 12 from three tonight, 6 to 7 from the line. But, second quarter, he picked it up. Third quarter, he picked it up a little. We finished the game with 25 points, 16 boards. Inefficient night for Julius Randle, though. But, it seemed like he was playing with an extra gear tonight. A couple times tonight where he didn't get the call or he did get the call and he was like screaming out of emotion. Like it seemed like he was angry playing against Giannis Antetokounmpo tonight. But, inefficient night for Randle and, one of those nights, Chris.
yeah. He struggled early on, but like you said, he turned it on a bit. And I felt he was a force defensively. Wasn't perfect, but he definitely was laying it all out there. And again, you love to see that with somebody, especially if when they're not having their best game. So I'm not gonna harp too much on Randall, but I felt he had a solid game considering how badly he started. And yeah, he definitely, you could tell he really wanted to perform, especially up against Giannis and the Bucks.
Yeah, it really has seemed like those votes got to him because, he was really, his emotion tonight was, not hard to witness because he was screaming and, every time he got the rebound, he was screaming. Every foul call, he was screaming. He just was on another level tonight. Obviously, he had a great game in Toronto during the last game, but tonight, 9 to 29 from the field, inefficient, 1 to 12 from three. See, if you're not hitting your 3-point shots, why are you going to attempt 12 of them, Bo? I mean, 12 of them threes and you're not hitting doesn't make sense, boy. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, no,
I'm,
it doesn't. And I've said that before too. I'm like, Randall, yeah, if you start 3 for 6 or something, okay, yeah,
yeah,
keep it up. But when you're 1 for 12, I mean that means at some point you missed over, 8 in a row. So drive
he's
to the rim, start creating a bit more.
yeah. I think he started like 0 for 6 in the first quarter. He attempts a lot of them things, man. And Julius Randle is becoming a 3-point shooter. I mean, lately he's been on fire. He's been hitting them, but tonight not efficient, wasn't hitting them, but still was able to manage 25 points, 16 rebounds. And Chris, there's another guy in the New York Knicks that has been playing rock solid, and his name goes by Emmanuel Quickly. 43 minutes for IQ, 9 to 14. Talk about the opposite of Julius Randle. Efficient night for IQ, 3 of 6 from three, 23 points, 4 rebounds. Defense is on point. You already know what you're gonna get with IQ. This turnaround from IQ has been amazing to watch. It really has. He's turned into a really great player. Not great. Let me not say great. Good player.
He's
But
trending,
you see
trending.
the upside, man. IQ is balling, and I love it. I love what we're seeing from IQ. I really do.
I'm excited for it. Just thinking of once we get healthy, and that's going to be a nice punch off the bench for us, because right now we're lacking bench scoring.
Yeah.
Um, and quickly, I mean, he's been rock solid past few games. Is he averaging about 20 points a game at this point? The
As,
last couple of games.
yeah. I mean, he's started the last, I believe, 7 games, and he's not averaging 20 points a game. Last game was 13, 15, 15, 27. But he's creeping his averages up for sure.
Yeah, and most importantly, his shots are going down, and I think that's the best thing that came out of quickly playing so many minutes. I think it finally got him out of that funk where he was kind of hesitant to take shots. And it'll be nice once RJ comes back, and assuming quickly slides back into the bench.
Assuming, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I've floated. Hey, I floated this around before in the past. You know, when RJ was struggling, I was like, hey, what if you bring RJ off the bench? But you
That's
know,
not gonna happen.
I know that's not going to happen.
If
But
anything, Grimes will go to the bench before RJ.
I mean, I kind of like the way the Knicks are playing right now with Grimes, IQ, Brunson, and Randall
Yeah,
Mitchell. Um, Nothing against RJ. I just I like the extra defensive presence that quickly and Grimes brings.
yeah. Raul in the chat. No reason to chuck up 18 shots in the first quarter, making one. Yeah, Julius Randle was chucking them things up. Game matchup against Giannis. He wanted to prove that. Look, mano y mano, I can go up against you as well. But Randle wasn't efficient tonight, and he just has to learn. If you're not making your shots, bro, just pass the ball. I mean, you got teammates that are hungry. Grimes, even though Grimes didn't really have an efficient game tonight, but Grimes made some crazy highlights tonight. Grimes is, you see it with Grimes. It's just too many games, in my opinion, like this one. 4 points, 1 of 7 from the field, and to me, the Knicks are doing him a disservice. They're not using him right. He's staying in the corner a lot. He's pretty much stagnant on offense. It's look, the Knicks have 2 high usage player, right, Chris? And they got to figure out a way to get Grimes more consistent on the offensive end because he's too talented to be having these inefficient nights like this. And I still think he had a good game. If you watch the game, Grimes was all over the place defensively, cutting to the basket, made a tough, crazy under the basket layup. But too many games like this, Chris, where they're not. I don't even blame Grimes. Like, they're just not putting him in the right scenarios to get him going. Like, they're not.
Yeah, I agree. We spoke about this a couple games ago where we were like, hey, we wish. I think it was a play where they had a Randall set a screen and Quentin Grimes came off of it and shot a 3-pointer. We were like, hey, we should see a lot more of that.
Yeah.
And
The Bullock play.
unfortunately, right.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're not seeing that. I mean, it's like every now and then maybe Tibbs will call it, but I think Grimes should be somebody who's shooting 12 3-pointers a game. Definitely before Julius does it. So
Yeah.
hopefully that's something they figure out because I think Quentin Grimes, I mean, yes, he's a menace on the defensive end. He does a lot of things that don't really show up on the stat line, but he's capable of knocking down these 3-point shots. And if we can get him the same kind of looks the Bucks basically got tonight against us,
Exactly. That's all
he's
I'm
gonna,
asking for, man.
yeah, he's gonna knock down more than he's not. I mean,
Like, why
he's a,
can't Quentin Grimes be like a Ingles or like a, the Knicks are not using him to his potential. And maybe they don't want him being a knockdown shooter, but he is a knockdown shooter. He can shoot the 3, he can hit the 3. So, it comes down to coaching with Grimes. It really does. He had a career game a few weeks ago against Dallas. That showed you right there that he can do it, man. And give him opportunities to succeed. Give him the ball in the right situations, and you're going to see it from Grimes. And it's frustrating that, Knicks are not using him right. Too many games, 7 field goal attempts. I mean, that's crazy. That's absolutely terrible from your shooting guard. 7 field goal attempts. He's a shooting guard. Let him rock. Let him shoot the ball. 7 field goal attempts compared to Julius Randle's 29, and Julius Randle's inefficient. Now, Jalen Brunson took 30, but I don't care. Jalen Brunson, a career night, 44 points. Brunson could have took damn near 40 field goal attempts. Like, I don't care. If Brunson was balling, get the ball to Grimes more. Put him in situations where he can succeed, and just got to go from there. But, yeah, man, they got to get this bench situation fixed. They do. It's killing them. It really is, And hopefully Obi can get it going. But even while Obi getting it going, what is he going to play, Chris? 15, 20 minutes? We've seen this song and dance before, right? 15, 20 minutes off the bench, Obi Toppin, and he brings you everything. He brings you that energy. He shoots the 3. He's been shooting the 3 well this season, and he brings you everything. But when you're not getting anything from Isaiah Hartenstein, and I mean
McBride, Fournier.
McBride. McBride's a great defender, but offensively, it's just nothing there, man. And I do think the Knicks are going to look elsewhere come trading deadline. I do.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much what has to be the case at this point. I mean, you can't keep running the starters out there, 40, 43 minutes. I mean, I know once RJ comes back, that'll help things out, obviously, and then we'll get some more scoring to our bench. But I don't see iHeart getting it going offensively anytime soon, unfortunately. I mean, Fournier, he's going to be odd man out. And McBride just can't seem to score,
Yeah.
which sucks considering he's such a menace defensively. And
Yeah.
if only he could find a stroke, that would be such a boost for the bench. But the Knicks definitely have to bring in a 3-and-D type of player, or just somebody who could stretch the floor for the bench unit. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be bad if we can't. We went from having one of the best benches to like it being non-existent.
Yeah. I mean, that has to do with iHeart, too. iHeart has been nothing for the New York Knicks. So, yeah, we'll talk about the trading deadline we'll record like an hour-long YouTube video and, talk about all the trade scenarios and whatnot later in the week probably. But, yeah, it's going to be real interesting. I feel like we've been talking about that for a while now, and eventually something has to give, right? I mean, too many of these games. I mean, especially at home. I mean, they're not a great team at home. That's the frustrating thing. They're not winning at home. They're under 500 at home. They're 22-19. Seems like they're stuck in the sixth seed. Well, now they're in the seventh. The Pacers won, so now they're in the seventh seed. They're game behind the Pacers, and they have the Pacers coming up on Wednesday. So that's gonna be a fight too. Whether the New York Knicks decide to keep this team or go a different direction, I do think they need to bolster up the bench unit, though.
I agree 100%. We definitely need to shake something up. We got too many people on the bench that are just not contributing. Granted, the rotation got trimmed down, but I think that's more of a case that, we didn't have anybody who was really doing anything for us.
Yeah.
So hopefully the Knicks will make a move, kind of give us a little bit of a boost, and we'll go from there.
Yep. Rebounding tonight, that even at 48. Knicks are normally a better rebounding team than their opponent, but Bucks are a great rebounding team as well. Knicks only with 16 assists. They didn't move the ball that well compared to the Bucks, 27 assists. Bucks were killing them all night long. Penetration in the paint, kicking it out to wide open three-pointers. Then they were moving the ball around the perimeter. Knicks, were scrambling on the defensive end all night long, especially late in the third, early in the fourth. Knicks were scrambling on defense, and the 27 assists from the Milwaukee Bucks shows that. I mean, they were, killing them in terms of, moving the ball, sharing the rock, and whatnot. Fast break points, both teams had 4 points in the paint, 44 for the Knicks. Largest lead of the game, Chris. I feel like we go through this every single damn game at home. They led by 17 points tonight at home. Lost the lead. They can go up by, I don't care, 20, 30 points. Do not feel comfortable, Knicks fans, because this team is not going to hold the lead. Up 17 in the Garden, close the game out. Close it out. Close it out.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
when you have a lead like that, again, I know the Bucks are a good team. They were due for a run. 18 points. I mean,
this
come
is
on.
consistent, Chris.
Yeah,
This is consistent all year.
it's like you said, they could be up 25, and you blink your eye and it's gone. And it's usually a barrage of 3-point shots that teams just start to hit out of nowhere after struggling most of the game from that, from the perimeter. And I think a lot of it, I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's just too many minutes? And, in this case, the Bucks were passing the ball around, and like you said, Knicks were scrambling. They're tired. That had to be, I mean, that's a smart game plan, in my opinion. Swing the ball around, somebody's going to not reach their man in time eventually.
I think it's coaching. I do.
Yeah.
Adjustments. Other teams are making adjustments. New York Knicks are not countering those adjustments, and they're playing the same way. They have to counter the adjustments coming out of halftime. When you're up 17 in Madison Square Garden, I mean, I can go through the Philadelphia 76er game during Christmas. They were up, like 20? I mean, there's so many of these games. Like, they can't sustain a lead at home. They can't keep a lead, and they always lose the league. I mean, I don't know what to point my finger out, but if I was answering your question, I would say it's coaching. I would, because the players, they're doing what they're being told, and you can point to the late game situations that the Knicks are not executing late in these games. But to me, losing these leads at home, this cannot keep up. This cannot be, a recurring thing. And lately it has been a recurring thing, and I don't know what you do. I really don't. Yeah, to me, that's coaching, Chris.
Yeah, I mean that's been one of the that's kind of been one of the marks against Tibbs, where people say he does not make adjustments.
Yeah.
And lately, I mean he's made some changes. We've seen some new wrinkles as far as plays, but yeah, maybe it's time for him to switch things up defensively a bit, and just
Yeah.
too many teams. It can't be a coincidence that multiple teams are going on these crazy runs to cut a 20 or 15 point lead down in like no time against us.
Too many times, time and time again. So, Knicks, Bucks snap the Knicks winning streak, and New York Knicks have the Indiana Pacers coming up on Wednesday in Indiana, I believe. No, in Madison Square Garden. So we'll see if the New York Knicks can hold the lead. If they go up by 15, don't worry. Fourth quarter, bring out the popcorn, because it might get interesting. Because, it seems like the Knicks go up 15, and the opponent turns into the 2015 Golden State Warriors, where they cannot miss, 3 against the New York Knicks. And it's absolutely frustrating to watch as a fan. It really is. I'm not going to lie to you. But, yeah, the roller coaster of the Knicks season continues, Chris. It continues, man.
Yeah, it's a hell of a ride.
King the Ka, and
Oh boy,
yeah, that's the ride we're on right now.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's the ride right now. But yeah, man, another tough loss. We'll be back here possibly on Wednesday night to cover the game. Hopefully the New York Knicks can, come out on Wednesday against Indiana. Indiana is in front of them in the standings right now. So, got a few games here that are winnable. Indiana, Washington, Detroit, Toronto, Washington again, Atlanta. So, we'll see what the New York Knicks can do. But for now, they have to go back to the drawing board in terms of, figuring out these games. Late game situations have been killing the Knicks all season long. So we'll see what they do. But once again, appreciate y'all for tuning in and joining me and Chris tonight. I'm Anthony. That is Chris, of course. And yeah, man, have a good night, everyone. And peace. Let's go, Knicks.
Let's go Knicks.
All right. Good night, guys.